All right, let's just jump right into it. For what feels like forever, the world of AI has had one and only one undisputed king. But just in the last few weeks, that throne has been shaken to its absolute core by a challenger that, frankly, nobody thought could move this fast. We are talking about Google's Gemini and how it might have just changed, well, everything. This isn't just another product launch or some minor update. This feels like one of those really rare moments in tech, a genuine seismic shift. It's like the ground beneath our feet is completely different now. The entire map of artificial intelligence has been redrawn, and the very company that kind of created this world is suddenly, believe it or not, on the defensive. And check this out. This quote, it isn't from some random user on Twitter. This is the CEO of Salesforce, a company that has been a massive supporter and, yeah, an investor in OpenAI. For a key ally to come out and publicly say, I'm switching sides, that is a huge deal. It's the kind of thing that sends shockwaves through the entire industry and tells you something really, really profound just happened. To really get the gravity of this, you have to remember how things were just a month ago. For years, OpenAI was the pioneer. They were the ones everyone else was just desperately trying to catch up to. They set the pace, they defined the game. Everyone else, Google, Claude, you name it, was seen as being months, if not years behind. Well, that's just not true anymore. And you don't have to take my word for it. The proof comes from the most unexpected place possible. This quote, it's from an internal memo sent by OpenAI's own CEO, Sam Altman, to his team. Wow. When the leader of the pack admits in his own words that they are now the ones catching up, you know the entire power dynamic has just completely flipped. The pressure is on. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's put Gemini and ChatGPT head-to-head. What is it about this new model that caused such a crazy reversal? Is this all just hype, or is there some real substance here? Let's look at a few specific tests and see where the differences really start to show up. First up, let's look at what the people think. This is the LMArena leaderboard. It's a platform where thousands and thousands of users blindly vote on which AI gives them a better answer, without knowing which is which. And as you can see, Gemini 3 isn't just winning, it's kind of in a league of its own, with a score of 1,324. GPT 5.1 is still amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's bunched up with older models down in the 1200s. That gap isn't just a small win, it's a huge statement. Okay, now let's test how they think. We gave both of them a classic logic puzzle. How do you measure exactly 15 minutes using only a 7-minute and an 11-minute hourglass? Now, ChatGPT, it gave an answer that was, well, technically correct, but it made you wait 7 whole minutes before you could even start timing. Gemini, on the other hand, gave the truly optimal solution, a really clever series of flips that starts the timer immediately. It just shows a deeper level of reasoning, not just number crunching. This next test really shows off Gemini's secret sauce, its ability to handle different kinds of media, text, images, all at once. When we asked it to create an infographic, ChatGPT first just described what it would look like, and then it spit out this busy wall of code. But Gemini, in just one single prompt, created this, a clean, beautiful, and actually useful infographic. It understood the intent behind what we asked for, not just the literal words. So here's the bottom line. They're good at different things. Gemini 3 is really built for complexity, juggling images, code, and text all together in these long multi-step projects. But GPT 5.1, it still shines when it comes to just pure conversational quality and reliability for more straightforward stuff like writing emails or answering questions. Pricing for you and me is about the same, but for developers using the API, Gemini's extra power does come with a higher price tag right now. But you know what? This battle is so much bigger than just which chatbot is better. The success of Gemini is creating these massive shockwaves all across the tech industry, and it's starting a chain reaction that has huge consequences for some of the biggest companies in the world. And that brings us to Google's secret weapon, the TPU. You see, while pretty much the entire AI world runs on chips made by this one company, NVIDIA, Google has been quietly building its own custom hardware for years. They trained Gemini not on NVIDIA GPUs, but on their own TPUs. This was a massive, massive gamble, and it just paid off in a spectacular way. So why does that even matter? Well, because for the first time ever, there's a real, credible alternative to NVIDIA. First, Google proves its TPUs can train a world-class model. Then, reports start coming out that these chips are actually faster and more energy efficient. And then, the big one. Other giants like Meta say they're thinking about buying Google's TPUs. All of a sudden, NVIDIA's untouchable empire looks, well, vulnerable. And that vulnerability, It has a price tag. In just one single day after all this news broke, a staggering $150 billion in market value was just wiped from NVIDIA's stock. That's the financial shockwave we're talking about. It shows that the market is now taking Google's hardware very, very seriously. So what's next? In the long run, this isn't just about who has a better model or a different chip. This is about strategic position. And this is where Google, the so-called elephant that learned to dance, has a set of advantages that are almost impossible for a startup like OpenAI to even compete with. Just look at this. OpenAI has a chatbot app. Google has, well, the entire internet ecosystem. They own the search engine, the phone operating system, the video platform, the email client, and the web browser that billions of us use every single day. That's not just a user base, it's a distribution network that OpenAI can only dream of having. And that ecosystem gives them this overwhelming arsenal. They've got the users, they've got the billions in cash from ads to fund all the research, they have their own global network of hardware, and this is the most important part. They can put Gemini's AI directly into the tools you're already using. OpenAI has to convince you to go to their website. Google can just make your Gmail smarter tomorrow.
So let's wrap this all up. The game has totally changed. That comfortable lead OpenAI had, it's gone. And now we're entering this fierce new era of competition, which, honestly, is probably going to be great for all of us.
This right here is the new reality. That period of a single pioneer just sprinting ahead of everyone else is over. Now it's a head-to-head battle between giants with incredibly deep pockets, amazing talent, and completely different game plans. And this competition, it is going to accelerate innovation at a pace we have just never seen before. And that leaves us with maybe the most important question of all. Google is betting that you won't. You see, their strategy isn't to build a better destination for you to visit, it's to weave AI into the very fabric of the digital life you already have. And if they pull it off, the whole idea of a standalone chatbot might just become a relic of the past. What do you think?